If you are confused over why we are reading news about Cotton On closing and then news that they are not closing, watch out because you need to know more about how companies in Singapore close down. Cause you think they can just close you like your ass, man? So, on 30 March, news of Cotton On Asia being liquidated in which the assets of a company are being sold off as the company will wind up, shocked Singapore. What's even more shocking is that the stores are still operating in Singapore. So, what happened? The next day, it is reported that they are actually not ceasing operations. They are just closing down an inactive holding company called Cotton On Asia. I know you are confused. Why would some reports look like they are closing down? Well, it's because the reports came from this and this. Basically, the media reported the impending closure of a company that is not directly involved with Cotton On operations. But what the heck are these and why do we come to that conclusion? Well, for that, we need to learn how to wind up a company. And no, it's not like breaking up with your girlfriend lah. It's more complicated than that. Mine was not. If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. Firstly, winding up a company doesn't mean that you just ghost everyone. I mean, it sure sounds like there's a new SOP, with so many news lately of founders disappearing, leaving behind debts, unpaid employees, and angry customers. But the real correct way to wind up a company is not that simple. Now, what I'm about to say is a very simplified explanation. So if you want to know more, you can check out a link I've left in the description. For simplicity's sake, let's say a company only has one owner lah. So when the company winds up, there might be some assets to sell off that can be converted to cash. To wind up, these assets need to be kind of converted to cash. If the company has no debts, then the owner gets all the cash. If the company has debts, the owner has to pay off the debts first with their cash before he can get the cash if there's any left. So this process of selling assets to convert to cash to either pay debts or for the owner to receive and then ending the company is called liquidation. But here's the thing, how do you know if a company has debts or that the company might have some pending legal issue? I mean, the owner surely know but he can pretend he doesn't know Therefore, long story cut short, there is a long process before the company can wind up Like, the company has to put up a notification on a platform called the Government Gazette to let others see if they have any debts or to inform any creditors about their impending winding up in case some creditors forget about it. If no creditor comes forward, the liquidation can proceed smoothly. This notification will be public since it's for creditors or anyone who wants to object to see an object. It's kind of like you're going to close your Instagram account, and so before you close, you go online and say, okay guys, I'm closing my account. If there's any DMs they are not replied, do inform me by 20 April 2026. If not, I'll close it out. So yes, it's this public info that Cotton On Asia posted that led to media reports that they are closing. Of course, it turns out that Cotton On Asia is merely an inactive holding company that's not related to Cotton On operations. And as it has to go through the usual process, there were speculations that they are the company operating Cotton On. So, what can we learn from here? Well, simple. We now know that those irresponsible business owners that just run away from their businesses didn't just run away from their business. They run away from their responsibilities too, because many of them never go through the process. In the meantime, since we are talking about irresponsible people, do you know that there are also some irresponsible people who like to post irresponsible content? Watch this and you understand. Also, if you like to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Thank you for spending almost 3 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.